A teenager who shot and killed a Pullman High School student last summer will spend at least 5 years in custody. Keagan Tennant pleaded guilty to shooting a friend during what started as a game of Russian roulette.
Tennant was sentenced to up to 25 years in prison, but as KREM 2's Taylor Vito explains, he'll first receive treatment as a juvenile prisoner.
Well, both sides agreed that what happened was a senseless tragedy. They also agreed that for now, treatment is the best option for Keagan Tennant. But prosecutors noted that after the shooting happened, Tennant continued to make poor decisions.
Tragic doesn't even come close to describing what happened. Multiple lives have been affected forever.
For now, there's a slight bit of closure for some affected by this sad case. In July of last year, 17-year-old Keagan Tennant was camping with friends in rural Idaho when he and another boy started to play Russian roulette. Tennant would fatally shoot 18-year-old Tim Reeves, a Pullman High School senior. Tennant and a friend then allegedly dumped Reeves' body and went on the run, carjacking a pizza delivery driver at gunpoint along the way. They would be arrested in Ferry County, Washington, days later. Tennant was charged with Reeves' death.
Not only is Tim gone and his family is without him forever, but everyone present involved now has the trauma that they're going to have to deal with.
In court, the prosecutor read statements from Reeves' family that described the heartache. Tennant's lawyer read a brief statement on his behalf apologizing for what happened. That lawyer stating that Tennant was immature during the shooting, but realizes the severity of what happened. Tennant was ultimately sentenced to 25 years in prison, but he'll be eligible for parole after 5 years.
The sentence for Mr. Tennant today is very appropriate.
In a unique instance, the judge suspended that sentence and ordered that Tennant be committed to a juvenile corrections facility, essentially prison for teens. There he'll undergo therapy and evaluations until he's 21. At that point, a judge will reevaluate his case and his sentence.
What happened was horrible, beyond description, but it happened with a young man, and there's a lot of time for the system to do what it can to make sure that he'll be safe to return to society.
Reeves' mother was in court but declined to speak. After the sentence was handed down, she stood up and stormed out of court, visibly upset with the fate given to her son's killer. In Latah County, Taylor Vito, KREM 2 News.